because there is no social distancing or mask rules in Alberta. Those have all been lifted. So there are no pandemic rules, but to cover the fact that he has very tepid support, he implemented social distancing rules at his Calgary rally, which he has not done in other places. So he's had rallies in Ontario, in Quebec, where it's jammed, where he doesn't even pretend to socially distance. But in Calgary, the one place that doesn't have these rules, everyone had to be in their zone of distancing.
I mean, it was comedic. First of all, they were hiding the event. They didn't want anyone to know. We almost felt like the paparazzi trying to figure out where this event was. And you'd think as a politician, you'd want people to know where your events are. We're seeing with this short election, whether it be Justin Trudeau or Erin O'Toole, they're not actually campaigning. They're having these secret events with 50 people invited, no questions are allowed. They're running on a 1 month platform of let's not screw up and hopefully we can get through the debates. You see people like Maxime Bernier and Derek Sloan saying, no, we're going to let people know we're having these events and everyone will come out. So is there that possibility that sort of populist mentality may garner some people over who are sick of lukewarm politicians?
Well, it certainly feels volatile right now, more so than I thought it might. Now, Justin Trudeau doesn't spend a lot of time in Alberta. That is a dead place to him. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance to pick up a seat or two in Edmonton, or even theoretically one in Calgary itself. But he doesn't like Alberta. He doesn't like Albertans. He doesn't like the oil and gas industry. He prefers slobbering, partisans in Montreal, for example. But he did recently go to Calgary, and I just have to chuckle because there is no social distancing or mask rules in Alberta. Those have all been lifted. So there are no pandemic rules, but to cover the fact that he has very tepid support, he implemented social distancing rules at his Calgary rally, which he has not done in other places. So he's had rallies in Ontario, in Quebec, where it's jammed, where he doesn't even pretend to socially distance. But in Calgary, the one place that doesn't have these rules, everyone had to be in their zone of distancing. Tell us a minute about that, and then we'll show a clip of when you went to such a thing.
I mean, it was comedic. First of all, they were hiding the event. They didn't want anyone to know. We almost felt like the paparazzi trying to figure out where this event was. And you'd think as a politician, you'd want people to know where your events are. We get there, it's a spectacle. Only people with the pre-approved red bands get to go in. And they literally had chalk circles drawn on the floor. And you were only allowed to get to go into your little cohort on a chalk circle. Of course, when Justin Trudeau was shaking hands, the circles went away. And when he went back to his bus, everyone absolutely rushed together and piled on. But like we said, there was maybe 70 to 100 people there. They tried to keep this event secret, and there was still probably 20 counter protesters at this event. So there's certainly a lack of support, and even trying to keep people away. Nearly 20% of the people in attendance were counter protesters who found their way to the event.
Funny, when you talk about the circles, it reminds me of these foolish circles that they made in the park in Toronto, one of the most popular outdoor parks in the city, Trinity Bellwoods. They had these foolish circles. It was so embarrassing. But of course, the real comparison is Joe Biden, who had, I think, a rally of like less than 10 people, and he had the circles there to cover it up. I wouldn't surprise me if some Biden campaign advisors were working for Trudeau too.
You deserve better. You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated. And you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train beside vaccinated people. We need to be strong in the decisions we're taking going forward, and we need to put people first, which we have always done.
So I think in some ways, Southern Alberta is one of the most boring places during an election because everyone sort of knows how it's going to go, but maybe not in that one riding. Maybe not in that riding. I still think I'd give it to the Conservatives. Just the odds of an upset there seem pretty long to me, but you never know. Could happen.
It's the one we're going to be watching most closely, and we've reached out to all the candidates. Like I said, Maxime will be here next week. We're certainly going to be there to cover that. So I think it's going to be one of the ones to watch across Alberta for sure.
Right on. Well, listen, I know you'll be out covering it along with our videographer, K2. We got a great team up in Edmonton led by Sheila, of course, and we have reporters across this country, Dre and Matt out there in Vancouver, all the way east to Alexa Lavoie in Quebec, who's doing a great job. I'm very excited about our coverage, and thanks so much for being out and about in Alberta for us.
My pleasure. Thanks so much.
That's an excerpt from my daily show called The Ezra Levant Show. Normally it's behind a paywall and you have to pay $8 a month to get it. But during the course of the Canadian federal election, we're making it available for free to anyone. Just go to rebelnewsplus.com and use the promo code ELECTION and you'll get it for free. I hope you'll like it. I hope you like it enough that you keep subscribing to it once the election's over. Go to rebelnews.com and don't forget that promo code ELECTION.